Your feet will someday thank you for this. Ban shoes in your house. 9 reasons why. No, I'm not talking about band shoes here, like you wear in marching band. This is ban shoes, as in prohibit them. Now, not everyone's in the habit of taking off their shoes when they enter their home. If you're one of these people, you should know that bringing your shoes in can carry dangerous bacteria, make your feet smell bad, and spread germs all around your home. Keep watching to learn why your health can be affected by this practice and why you'll want to stop it immediately. And don't forget to click the subscribe button and turn on notifications to join us on the bright side of life. Counting down from number 9, your shoes will accumulate bacteria. When you think of things that transmit bacteria, you might imagine what? Unwashed hands, public restrooms, or escalator handrails? Have you ever considered how much bacteria is on your shoes? Well, according to a study by the University of Arizona, the answer is a lot. The researchers collected germs and microbes from shoes and found 421,000 units of bacteria there. This included E. coli, a bacteria that can give you extreme diarrhea, abdominal cramping, nausea, and, in rare cases, meningitis. They also found Serratia fecaria, which leads to respiratory infections, and Klebsiella pneumonia, which commonly leads to wound and bloodstream infections. Pretty scary stuff. And amazingly, they didn't find Sophia Vergara, which is unusual since she's pretty much everywhere these days. Number 8. You can't escape picking up bacteria. So, how does bacteria get in your shoes? Dr. Charles Greba, a professor of microbiology and environmental science at the University of Arizona, says that people pick up bacteria when they walk in public restrooms, dog waste, and bird droppings. Walking on leaves afterward can actually be food for bacteria and make it grow. Even if your neighbors are really good at picking up after their dogs, and you don't usually walk on the mess, chances are you'll visit a public restroom at some point or another area where people's shoes have spread bacteria. Oh geez, there's just no escaping it now, is there? If you like to put your feet up on the coffee table now and then, or get into bed for a quick rest with your shoes on, you're spreading bacteria not only to your home's floor, but to your bed and places where you eat. Ooh-wee! As you might have guessed, this can make you sick. Number 7. Children are more susceptible. You probably don't spend your days crawling on the floor, but your children do. Babies and toddlers often put their hands on the floor and then put them in their mouths. If they're constantly crawling on a germ-infested floor, it's very likely they'll get sick more often. If they put toys on the floor and then stick them in their mouths, that's another way of transmitting germs. And when it comes to carpeted homes, the problem becomes much worse. Mold and bacteria can grow over time, and dangerous organisms survive longer on carpets than on hard floors. And it's not just children that are affected. If you're doing yoga, exercising on the floor, or just like to sit on the floor to read or do work, you're bringing bacteria with you throughout your entire house. Number 6. Shoes can make your allergies worse. If you suffer from hay fever, like I do, you know how miserable the experience can be. But life doesn't stop with allergy season. So, even though you'd be safer inside, you still need to head outside to go to work, do chores, and pick up the kids. According to Dr. Greba, shoes also pick up mold and allergens like pollen. If your immune system is weakened, you should definitely leave your shoes outside. Otherwise, you can expect to be coughing, have dry eyes and a dry throat, and be blowing your nose non-stop. And that's not very pleasant. Number 5. Dangerous toxins can affect you. A study by the Environmental Protection Agency found that if you treat your lawn with herbicides, those toxins will then be transported into your house through your shoes. It's not as easy as changing your shoes the day you apply the herbicide, because the herbicide they studied, 2,4-D, can be transmitted for up to a week after application. That means you'd have to stay off your lawn for at least a week. Exposure to this herbicide can cause skin rashes and gastrointestinal problems in the short term, and it isn't clear what would happen in the long term, though it probably isn't good. Another study conducted by Baylor University found that if you live near an asphalt road that's sealed with coal tar, and you bring those toxins into your home on your shoes, wow, there's a higher chance that you could get cancer. Before you panic, this would only happen if you were exposed to those toxins many times in your life. Number 4. Your house will get dirty. In addition to bacteria and toxins, shoes can also carry dirt and mud. Many people who want to keep a clean carpet ask their guests to place their shoes outside, not knowing that it's also saving them from dangerous microorganisms. If you bring mud into your home, the mud itself won't make you sick. But who's to say there aren't animal droppings in the mud that's stuck to your shoes? So why risk it? Just leave your shoes in the entryway. This practice will also make it much easier to keep your home clean. Number 3. Shoes can exacerbate bunions. Now, a bunion is a foot deformity where the big toe is bent inward. Bunions are sometimes genetic, but it's also likely they'll develop if a person wears tight-fitting shoes, shoes with pointed toes, and high heels that force all the toes to bunch up together. Your feet are meant to be free every once in a while, and not just when you sleep. So, when you let them be free of a shoe as soon as you get home, you're allowing your tootsies to return to their original upright and locked position for landing and fight off the damage caused by fashionable shoes that crowd your toes. But if you wear your shoes all the time, even indoors, you are putting more pressure on your toes. Over time, you can change their natural shape. Number 2. Giving your feet a shoe break can stop foot pain. According to Adam Sternberg, an editor for New York Magazine, people walk incorrectly, and shoes are responsible. His take, which is shared by many others, is that shoes were never created to help our feet. They were meant to increase your height, beauty, and sex appeal. Wearing shoes all the time can trap your feet and prevent them from getting the mobility they need. Your toes are meant to stretch, and your foot needs to arch every now and then. When you don't give your feet a break, it's likely that the connective tissue in your feet will become glued together over time. That will leave you with less mobility and prevent you from being able to walk as you want to. Walking barefoot might be the thing your poor feet need to stop aching and to allow them to stay mobile long into old age. And what better place to do it than at home? With all you've learned about bacteria and toxins, you know not to walk barefoot outside, right? Number 1. Your feet will get stinky. Oh, baby! The more you wear shoes, particularly during hot weather, the more your feet will sweat. Now, if you're wearing shoes all the time and aren't changing your sweaty socks, you're likely to develop athlete's foot and toenail fungus, really ruining that expensive pedicure you just got. It's not just your feet that need to air out, your shoes do too, particularly if you wear sneakers or closed shoes. If you never take a break from the same pair of shoes, by the time you take them off, the odor coming from the area might be strong enough that it makes you gag. And odor isn't the only thing to worry about. Wearing improper footwear for a long time can also cause a burning sensation on the soles of your feet and make them feel uncomfortably hot. Now, if you just can't live without wearing your shoes inside your house, you can try disinfecting them. Dr. Greba and his team found that when shoes were cleaned, according to the manufacturer's instructions, 99% of bacteria was removed. Of course, putting your shoes in a washing machine every day can be quite inconvenient. A second option is purchasing an antimicrobial doormat. There are many brands, and some claim to remove up to 90% of the debris on the bottom of your shoes. If you are convinced that your feet should be free at home, leave your shoes outside or in the doorway. You can also invest in a shoe rack. Your feet will see more mobility, if they had eyes, You won't have to worry about getting infections, and you'll be able to take off your shoes without any sneaky odor escaping.
Whew.
So tell us, Brightsiders, if you leave your shoes outside, why did you pick up this habit? Let us know in the comment section. Don't forget to give this video a like, share it with your friends, and click subscribe to stay on the bright side. Bright side.